Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, Bocock Brothers, Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. All right, y'all, what's up? Saints take it on the chin, 34-10. Really, really disappointing injury for Jayden Daniels on Sunday Night Football. If you weren't watching, late in a blowout loss, he was running, put his hand down to brace himself, and his elbow dislocated. It was gross. I have no idea if that's season ending. I have no idea if that needs surgery. I haven't seen the reports and all that stuff. But that is such a bummer, man. After just an awesome rookie season last year, where he was Offensive Rookie of the Year, and here in year two, just played by injury, man. And that's a bummer for Burrow and for Jayden, both the LSU guys, to bet their seasons go the way they did. I don't mean to be like super negative on a Monday, but like, what an awful football year. You had all the expectation for LSU, and they've got 3 losses now, and Brian Kelly's been fired, and you're in an interim situation, and everything that happened last week. The Saints are 1-8. It's their worst start since 1980, which was the worst team in the history of the organization. The team that went 1-15. Joe Burrow's hurt. Jayden Daniels is hurt. Like, is there anything good going on in football right now? Like, can we just get debate? Can we just skip basketball and go straight to LSU baseball? I think they're going to be really good. All right. We'll say some good mornings here. It is LSU Bama week. I do have a Locked On LSU episode up. I did therein. If you listen to today's Locked On, 2 tidbits. I do have an update on Nick Saban. As much as I don't think at all that it's going to happen, that Nick Saban coaches LSU. Again, being very clear, I do not think it's going to happen. There are people tilling the soil to try to make that happen. It'd be interesting. And we'll talk a little bit about the opening line. LSU 10.5-point underdog at Bama. See if that line moves at all this week. All right, we'll say some good mornings here. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Jinglegate Day 7. Let's go. On the way back to the streak of 130. Bloop. I forgot where we were, Thomas, where the streak is. We're on our way. Hey, Jared, good morning. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Abner, good morning. You are the sports with Google. It's the Google. You're awesome. Thank you, Abner. I appreciate it. I'm the sports Google. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Clayton, good morning. Buff SpongeBob. Good morning, Matt. Who do you think are part of the actual top 5 head coach candidates for LSU? All right. I'm going to write down some names. Let me do so I can give you 5. Hang on. All right. So, see, Lanning, Kiffin, Saban. So it's like the pie in the sky wish list, right? Then the more realistic would be Drinkwitz, Mullen, Summerall. And then, of course, Frank Wilson would absolutely take it if he was offered. I'll throw Freeman into the pie in the sky wish list. Dillingham. So if you take off Lanning and Freeman and you look at Kiffin, Saban, Wilson, 3, Summerall, 4, Drinkwitz, 5, Mullen, 6. I'm not completely ruling out Saban yet. As silly as it is, I talked about in today's Locked On that you have had influential people calling him associated with LSU. I'm not saying athletic administrators. I mean, influential people associated with LSU that are calling him. And if even nothing more than a courtesy, he's listening. Going to do not think Nick Saban is going to be the coach. But so go Kiffin, Drinkwitz, Mullen, Summerall, Frank Wilson. If you need 5, I would give you 5. I don't think that's the top 5 wish list. I'm trying to think of, like, if you said on that list, pick 5 because you think it's going to be one of the 5, I think that's a pretty good place to start. Kiffin, Drinkwitz, Mullen, Summerall, Wilson. One of those 5. Sorry, there was. Brad, good morning. Has there ever been this many head coaching openings this early before? Oh, I'm sure, Brad. I don't know that I have that answer right off the top, although Abner could Google it. But yeah, man, I mean, we're already into November. You know, it's coaches keep getting fired earlier and earlier. So I think the oddity probably is just because there's so many in the SEC, right? Because last year there was no SEC head coach turnover last year. Everybody returned this year from a season ago. So there was no coaches fired or anything like that last year. So to already be at the beginning of November and Arkansas, Auburn, LSU, Florida, you get 4 already, Who went first, LSU, Saints, or Pels? If the Pels play Charlotte on Tuesday. If they don't beat Charlotte, they're going to have to pull a big upset somewhere. LSU, even if they don't beat Bama, I think will win next week against Arkansas at home. And then the Saints have been awful on the road this year. They've lost all their road games by double digits. And this week they go to Carolina. So I don't know that I'm sitting there telling you I'm really optimistic about the Saints going and winning on the road this week at Carolina. Then you get Falcons. We get your open date or your bye week and then the Falcons on the 23rd. So you have to wait even longer. I mean, November 30th at Miami, but again, you've not been good on the road. I mean, your next best chance of winning for the Saints is probably at home December 21st against the Jets. I mean, imagine that. Like, if you don't win a game until December 21st, till Christmas. Could happen. What in the world does Brad Davis have on Scott Woodward? We're hearing that the blow-up started when BK also wanted to fire Davis and Woody wasn't having it. That's not true at all. There was no blow-up. I have now spoken to multiple people that were in the room. There was no blow-up. I don't know where that started. I know Bruce Feldman reported that, and Bruce got that wrong. I don't know who he was talking to, but there was no blow up. That's not a thing. The convo was the Sunday convo was 5 minutes. There was no talk of fire assistance to keep your job. They just moved on from Brian Kelly. It was professional, respectful convo. Kelly understood. And then a couple hours later, um, Trace Armstrong, his agent, was talking about buyouts. So there was no blow up. Let's see. Morning, Matt. I've been away for 3 days. Has Saban said no? Has he been asked? Thank you. Have a good day. He hasn't said no. Huh? Okay. Okay. I'll change him. Right. Um, I'm trying to. I'm treading lightly with the Saban thing because I don't want this to become a full on thing. Um, Again, I do not believe Nick Saban is going to be LSU's coach. I But remember, there's a lot of people associated with LSU. I'm not just talking about administrators. I mean, people all throughout the LSU athletic department and boosters and supporters and lots of people around Baton Rouge who were here when Nick was here the first time, and they've remained friendly. Like he has a lot of business interests and a lot of different stuff. And so there's a lot of people who could call Nick directly, informally, sort of on LSU's behalf, and try to convince him to come back. And I think some of those conversations have happened. If I get any more information, I'll let you know. But again, I do not think that Nick Saban is going to come out of retirement. Morning, Matt. I feel Kevin Moore is just an offensive version of Dennis Allen, and Gale is just one of the worst owners. No coincidence, both pro teams lack talent, competent front office. I think what I want from an owner is someone who's willing to spend money and get out of the way. And by and large, she does that. She hires she's willing to spend money, and she does hire people and get out of the way, let them do their job. Her great flaw is her loyalty to Loomis and Lauscha and the people who have basically run this organization into the ground. So yeah, she deserves blame for that, for not being willing to fire them. Hey, Gregory, good morning. Daniel, morning, Matt. Do you think LSU should try to go more young, up-and-coming coach? Maybe. I think if they had the opportunity to hit the home run, like to get Nick Saban or to get Dan Lanning or Marcus Freeman, I think they will absolutely do it. I think more likely the question they're going to have to ask is, do you hire Eli Drinkwitz from Missouri, a sitting SEC coach, or do you go with someone like John Summerall? And in that situation, I would prefer to go John Summerall. Louisiana football is down, must be in the water. Cycles, man. Hey, Brandon, good morning. Is it not strange that Brian Kelly hasn't put a statement yet? I don't think so. I think, James Franklin got fired and then, went on College Game Day the next week, but I think he was already stumping for his next job. I mean, I've said this pretty repeatedly. I don't know that Brian Kelly's going to coach again. Look, I've told you for about a month now, more than a month. I think it's more likely he goes and does TV. So he doesn't necessarily need to be front and center stumping for a job or lobbying for a job or anything like that. Hey, Patrick, good morning. McKittrick needs to change his name to Kool-Aid to Weilers. I hope everyone has a great week, though. Yeah, it's a bummer, man. I was really hoping this year to see a lot of growth and progress out of some young people who have established themselves as starters going forward. And I don't know that we've seen a bunch of that. I think Kool-Aid has really struggled this year. I'm more optimistic about Quincy Riley and Jonas Sanker than Kool-Aid. But then in fairness, Quincy Riley, I don't think is like a number one lockdown corner. And so if you were asking Kool-Aid to play opposite, a number one, then maybe I'd feel differently about him. But yeah, man, we kind of hoped more for the young guys. Jordan Grace, new coach would be a good thing. Frank, let's see more, Matt. Honestly, don't see any quarterback that is worth taking with our first round pick. We should draft Ruben Bain, build a defense around Chase Young and Bain. I think it's tough to say that right now. I think you have to let the whole draft process play out. Sometimes there are guys that feel like a slam dunk, no doubter. And then sometimes Josh Allen blows up at the Senior Bowl and becomes a first round pick and then wins an MVP. So let the rest of the season play out. Let's see that, and then what the draft process plays out. I mean, you're 8-1. You are not 8-1. You're 1-8. You got 8 games to go. Let Shuck start these next 8 games, and let's see how it looks. And then at the end of those 8 games, we can make a determination about, what you want to do. Only one man can save LSU, Jay Johnson. He grind, ain't no doubt about it. Hang on.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Okay, y'all. Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, we'd love to give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection, commercial, residential repairs, replacements. We soft wash as well. Not only your roof, but the whole front of your home, all of your hardscape as well. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com, and of course, Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Great partners of ours here on Morning Scone for almost as long as Morning Scone has been a thing. All right. Chances we see significant playing time from Michael Van Buren throughout the rest of the season. You'd have to define significant playing time. I don't think that's a thing that'll happen. I think they may have packages or opportunities, as sort of Frank Wilson alluded to last week. But if you think they're going to, it sure sounds like they're not going to make a change to Van Buren. Hey, Graham, LSU baseball looked great in Biloxi this weekend. Let's see. First time, long time. Wasn't able to watch a Saints game. Was not upset about it. If you think bring a LSU and Saints fan is bad, I'm Arkansas and Saints fan rough. Yeah. Okay. 115 is our record. I'm glad you're keeping count, Thomas, because man, I would have lost. I could barely remember to play it every day without your help. Good morning. Hey, Chance, thought big game hunting was a bad style of hiring a coach. Agents know it, inflate contracts on aging coaches. Not always. Lincoln Riley went to USC from Oklahoma. He's not an aging coach. It doesn't have to be that. Lane Kiffin's not an aging coach. It's just, what's the price to get a proven successful coach away from a good situation? It's going to cost. Dustin, good morning. Jay Thompson, good morning. Scooterfit baseball is good. Can't skip the Lady Tigers. True. The education. Morning. Another day accept the blessings that have been provided. Amen to that. Chris, good morning. How confident are you LSU offense gets unlocked? BK blessed off on game plan. However, most of the coaching staff still in place. Love the show content. Keep pushing. Yeah, I'm not confident that the game plan gets unlocked or the offense gets unlocked. I don't. I mean, you've got an 8-game sample, and your offensive line isn't very good. And we should find out today updates on Tyree Adams and Karis Kern. Remember, Adams was injured, had the tightrope procedure. It's unlikely that he would be back for this week. You might have lost him for the rest of the season. So Karis Kern started against Texas A&M at left tackle, and then he hurt his knee. So, we'll get an update. Frank will meet with reporters today at noon. We should get an update on Kern. But if Kern is hurt, then who's playing left tackle? Ori Williams? I mean, y'all. No bueno. Let's see. Morning, Matt. Felt like the Saints took more than just on the chin. They got the ring with Mike Tyson. Nobody threw in the towel for 3 rounds. With prime Mike Tyson, not 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Hey, Breezy, what up, man? Haven't caught a morning show in way too long work, but today's my day off. Good to have you there, Breezy. Great to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Tony, Matt, why the hurry? Would it be better to get the right guy, not the guy who can fill the position quickly? If Kiffin is the guy, you wait. See, but here's the problem, Tony. I don't disagree with you, by the way, if he's truly interested. But here's the problem you have. So let's say you want Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss makes the playoffs, which I'm assuming they will, right? They're going to play a playoff game in December. Now, if they win that playoff game, then they'd move to the quarterfinals on New Year's weekend, right? And so you would have missed already the December signing period. And then what if he wins again and goes to the semifinals? Like, is he going to leave his team after the semis? Now, Kalen DeBoer left Washington after playing in the championship game to go to Alabama. But at that point, remember, the transfer portal window was still later. So this would be like if you were waiting on Kiffin and he played into like the semis or deeper, you would miss the December signing period and the portal window. So, because there's no spring portal window anymore. So, like, how do you recruit a roster? Not knowing who the coach is. I mean, you could try to have a conversation to say, we're waiting on this guy. And then what if in the 11th hour, he decides not to come? Then what do you do? I mean, I could see a world where if that's your plan and it falls through, then your fallback would be Frank Wilson. Are you good with that? Hey, Bill, good morning. Jordan, not an exciting list. Well, who'd you like to see on it? I mean, I said the pie in the skies would be Lanning, Kiffin, Saban, Marcus Freeman, but I don't think you're going to get any of those guys. And sure doesn't seem like you want to pay him the contract. Hey, Connor, Saints and Pels lost by a combined 55 points yesterday. Has there been a worse duo in sports? Oh, yeah, man. You forget about Cleveland and Detroit. They've had some miserable sports teams over the years. The Lions and Pistons have mutually been the worst. Cleveland with the Browns and the Cavs. Yeah, man, plenty. Hey, Ronald, Ole Miss folks and Rebels win it all. Your thoughts? I don't think Ole Miss is going to win it all. I do think they'll make the playoff. It would be a giant upset if they didn't at this point, considering their remaining schedule. So, and it's a fascinating thing where if you get in, you can make a run depending on your draw. It's one of the great things about actually having a playoff, like a real, true playoff. And I can't wait for it to go to 16, 14, 16, whatever it'll be. Hey, Mark, good morning. Look at the rattling. Willie Green Pink slipped by Thanksgiving. He may not make it to Thanksgiving. I'll tell you, I pre-wrote yesterday a Willie Green fired story for LouisianaSports.net. So we have it drafted, ready to go whenever that news comes. I think everyone at this point is assuming that's going to happen. There were some reports late last week that they were already having conversations internally about moving on from Willie Green. So they're awful. I can't believe they retained him, quite honestly. But yeah. Trivia, what up, man? Mark, trade Rattler for the deadline. No one's giving the Saints a second-round pick for Spencer Rattler. Kona, morning, Matt. Pels might have the number one pick, but can't use it. Belongs to the Hawks. Fact. You're the worst team, and you don't have your first-round pick. Morning, Matt. With Auburn, their coach, does that affect the LSU search? So, yes, Jesse, actually, I do talk about this today in Locked On LSU, which I'd strongly encourage you to listen to. And I know I've mentioned it before, but if you want to watch on YouTube, that's great. It really, really, really helps me. Even if you watch it on YouTube and you don't listen to it, if you would just go subscribe to the audio so that it downloads, that helps me tremendously. So even if you'd rather watch on YouTube, awesome. If you would go to Locked On LSU and still subscribe to the audio, that would be a huge help for me. But anyway, the thing that I think could impact LSU is John Summerall. So if LSU wants John Summerall, it sure sounds like Summerall is going to be the Auburn target. And if that's the case, then, and that's the guy you want, then if your sights are elsewhere, Auburn could snag Summerall before you get the opportunity. Let's see. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Do you see the Saints trading before the deadline? I do. I think they'll move somebody. Morning. I hope you're well. Thanks, Chris. Same to you. Is Loomis in charge of the Pelicans? No, they changed that structure. Joe Dumars is the VP of basketball operations. Hey, Carlos. Good morning. Thank you for the show. Thinking trial by fire strategy with Tyler Shuck, starting him against one of the toughest defensive fronts in the league. Nowhere to go but up. Yeah, I think that was certainly part of it. I mean, there is no easy game in the NFL. So might as well run them out there. Where do you think Sloan will be next year? I don't know. I actually saw Joe Saturday night. We went to the Chris Stapleton Boots on the Bayou show. And literally as I'm walking in, I saw Joe. As we were walking toward the gate to go in, saw him. So talked to him briefly. But I'm sure at some point I'll talk to him after the season and all, but what his plans will be. But he's a bright young guy, really good quarterback. Young guy. I mean, we're roughly the same age, but relatively young in coaching terms, right? And he'll have opportunities. Dabo had a rough weekend. He did. Let's see. Fans made a Fire Mickey Loomis song. I think you should play it on AFI. Maurice, howdy, Matt. Saints really suck. Only good news is they should be selecting number one. I mean, it'll be a battle with Saints, Titans, Jets, maybe Dolphins for the number one pick. Will Nussmeier be a first-round pick at quarterback? Probably not, based on how this season has gone, Mark. I mean, I guess he could always go into the Combine and the Senior Bowl and all that sort of stuff and wow people and push his way up. I mean, that happens. You do have guys that come out of nowhere that end up being first-round picks because of look, Zach Wilson went second overall. Same with Mitchell Trubisky. It wasn't because they had great careers. It was they went into the pre-draft circuit and wowed and raced up draft boards. Hey, Jeffrey, good morning. Hate to say it. I believe Kamara's done. Hopefully I'm wrong. He's also playing hurt. Peter, what up? 1980 Saints were 0-14 to start the season. Not sure how our media thought 1-8 is tied for the worst in 45 years. It can get much worse. Maybe the way they said it, Peter, was the worst start since 1980. Or did the 99 team? I don't want to get bogged down with it. That was Ditka's last team. They started. No, the 99 team won their opener and then lost. I think a week 3 bye. Oh my God. 1, 2. Then they lost 7 straight. So they started 1-7. So maybe it's the worst start since 1980. All right. 7:15. We got to go. Got to go. All right. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Oh, no. Audio's cutting in and out and locked on. All right. Thanks for the heads up. Sorry about that. God dog it. All right. I'll check it out. Okay. My apologies for that. I'll check it out. I don't know what would happen there. It's my same setup I always use. All right. I got to go. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Link in the description on YouTube. Give them tagged on Facebook. Locked in LSU's live, although apparently the audio is skipping a little bit.